If you are thinking of becoming a student and you would fall into the category of non-traditional, whether that is being a mature student, being a first generation student, or from a low income background, or for whatever reason, and you're kind of worried about that summertime and how that's going to look, this might be the one for you. You probably guessed from this view that I am not in Edinburgh. I am in fact on the north coast of Scotland, so right up north in the Highlands. As you can see from my outfit, it is indeed summer, and from that you'll be able to gather that it is summer holidays from uni. Although I am on holiday now, this is one weekend. I've been off for how many months? Maybe like 2, and this is the first time I've stayed away overnight somewhere. I've found since I've become a student that there's this assumption that people get this great summer off, they get months off uni, therefore they can have a fabulous summer, fabulous time. And that's not always the case, especially for someone like me who basically needs to work full time and extra over the summer holidays to supplement finances. Also to maintain a career, because that's something that a lot of students actually don't have yet because they haven't began their career, whereas I have, and I can't take months off work because then I wouldn't have a career. So while summer sometimes looks like this, as you can see from those clips, summer, it can be fun for non-traditional students, it's definitely there, but the ratio of fun to work is not fantastic. Definitely not. That's actually only a tiny fraction of the time. This is literally one weekend out of how many I've had so far. Here's the deal. During term time you get your monthly allowance, and that's fab, so you know you can work out your bills and you can work out your spending, and it's great. But as soon as summer hits, they literally give you nothing. So if you don't have financial security, let's say, so for example some students might be able to move back home with their parents and therefore they don't have to pay rent and pay their accommodation and food, etc. Some people can live off their parents' money, their parents can afford to let them have summer off, which is lovely. But people like me don't have that. So I don't have student accommodation. I live in a flat. It is rented, but you know, it's a long-term lease. We're going to be there for years. So I can't just move out and not have that bill to think about over the summer. I still have to pay those bills. And it just means I have to work full time to do it, because the uni help that's offered to me is only offered to me during term time. I think certainly a downside that can come along with being a non-traditional student in the summer is that some students are in the privileged and wonderful position that they can take on unpaid internships, and so they can experience new things and, you know, like just add things to their CV and explore things they're interested in. And that isn't an option for myself, because if I was taking on an unpaid internship I wouldn't be able to work and wouldn't be able to afford the bills, and you know, you can see how that would spiral. This isn't a woe is me video. I still enjoy the summer, and uni not being on is a pressure taken off in itself, because when uni's on I am full-time uni, I work a lot of hours, and I also have a voluntary job as well. I do volunteer work, and those 3 things can get very chaotic sometimes. So by eliminating one of them, it's great because I can just up my work hours and fit in my voluntary around it, and it makes life a little bit less stressful. It helps that I love my job. I know a lot of people aren't in a position where they do, so I'm very lucky in that way. Another good thing it offers is flexibility. So when uni's on, obviously I have very little flexibility when it comes to work and my working hours, and I pretty much have no days off. So when uni's taken out of the equation, I can be a lot more flexible with my work hours. I can decide when my days off are, and I'm trying to give myself as many weekends off as possible. So that's great, because that's not possible during term time. So I wasn't even going to post this video because I put it together and I didn't really like it, and I thought that maybe that was just, you know, how I was feeling, and I don't know, the content was pretty poor. Then I realised it's because it was so one-dimensional that I didn't like it. As much as I can only give my own experience wholeheartedly, I can talk about other people's experiences, and I feel like it was all about like what I do in the summer, even though I know other people who are non-traditional students who have a slightly different way of dealing with things than I do because their circumstances are slightly different. As much as my experience can benefit some people, I realised that I could benefit more people by talking a little bit more about different situations, cover a bigger ground. So hopefully I'll film a little bit now, and once I put it together I'll see if I'm happy with it. Hopefully I will be, but who knows, I might just be doing this for nothing and the world will never see it. One thing that I haven't needed to do so far, which I know a few people have, is take on temp jobs. So living in Edinburgh City Centre, most people have heard of the Edinburgh Festival. It's like world renowned. People come from all over the world for the month of August, for all the stuff that goes on, all the shows and all the festival festivities. A lot of jobs created for the month of August. So I know people who don't work at all or only work a little bit during term time, but just go crazy in the festival with work hours and just work like more than full time. It means that once a temporary contract's finished, you don't really need to think too much more about it. Once you start uni, that stress and that weight is lifted. I know of other people who actually temp abroad or do paid internships during the summer because they're temporary contracts again. So that's really handy for people who are in that situation and don't have the same commitment of working with the same company or people or clients all year round. Another totally different situation from my own is people who have children. So obviously during the school summer holidays, uni lines up with that as well, so there will be people who aren't necessarily working but do have full-on family commitments during the summer, and therefore, although they are doing fun things with them, you know, being a parent isn't easy. And of course there's a situation where someone might be up in their work hours during the holiday, but they are also a parent, so for maybe half the summer that doesn't align with the school holidays, they can just work, and then they might have to like ease that a little bit or juggle parenting and working, which I just can't even imagine doing. So shout out to all the parents out there who are studying, because I do not know how you do it. I really hope you've managed to get something out of this video. I hope it was helpful in any way at all. It was filmed in a hotel that looks like your granny's house, but you know, we're not fussy about hotels, we're not precious. So yeah, I'm sorry it's not the most glamorous of videos, but the content I hope will make up for it. See you in the next one. Bye!